This episode of Sessions with Stef is brought to you by our partner, Fearless Sounds. Francesca Sacerdoti, along with her amazing team, take care of every artist's needs when it comes to marketing, playlist placement, advertising, and artist management. You can follow Fearless Sounds on Instagram and Facebook, or just give them a call at 514-409-6061. Thank you, Francesca, and thank you, Fearless Sounds. And now, we present to you our latest session with Stef. Welcome back to Sessions with Stef. We start with a cheers. Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers. 100 years.
100 years.
We've all watched The Sopranos. Chandan in Italian is 100 years. So you gotta get it out.
You even said it, 100 years.
And I say it because all of a sudden I'm from New York.
Yeah, give it a little Brooklyn.
Give it a little Brooklyn.
Give it a little Brooklyn.
Maybe a little Bronx.
A little Bronx. Exactly.
Some cavadil. So, welcome guys. Welcome to Sessions with Stef. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, listening, whatever you do. You can catch us anywhere on YouTube if you want to watch us. If you find me really fucking ugly, you can listen to the audio version on Spotify. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, I think Google Podcasts, all of that shit. So subscribe on all four if you want. Why not? I love doing this podcast. It's called Sessions with Stef because it's a musical podcast. I have guests that have to do with music in one way or another. And we have a fantastic guest today. It's going to be a really good chat. We're going to watch some videos. And it's honestly really good stuff. I will introduce him soon. Because first we have to say thank you to our amazing sponsors who help us out immensely. We've got tons of sponsors that keep sponsoring us and we love it. But this week we have a new one. So super grateful. Of course, you saw the ad that played. Francesca, hello, Fearless Sounds. Yes, she is a sponsor. The ad that plays right before you see the interview is Fearless Sounds. Francesca Sacerdoti, she's here. She has a podcast with Lisa, who's behind the mic. Hello.
Hello.
They have a podcast called Let's Talk It Out, so you can check that podcast out and sign up, subscribe to that podcast as well because it's a sister podcast and we all work together, as you can tell. Francesca, thank you so much. Fearless Sounds, anything to do with music, you want playlist placement, you want an agent, you want someone to manage, she does it all. So Fearless Sounds, fantastic. And our new sponsor right now, her name is Angelica Bott, and Angelica is a real estate agent. I believe she does commercial and residential. So we're pretty sure. She is definitely a real estate agent, so houses guaranteed. Guys, the real estate market is pretty shitty, to be quite honest. It's hard to navigate. It's so stressful. It's so confusing. You need someone like Angelica Bott to help you, to guide you through this, to find you the best deals, to find you the right homes. From experience, because she is actually a friend of Lisa, Lisa can vouch for her that she's an amazing person and an amazing agent. Is this true, Lisa?
Absolutely. Angelica really knows her stuff. She's been in the business many years and she's very knowledgeable. She's very reliable. So she's somebody that I admire. So anybody who works with her, very fortunate.
Oh, fantastic. So guys, for your real estate needs, feel free to call Angelica Bott at 514-972-0962 and email angelicacambot@gmail.com. She is also located in Montreal North at 11159 Avenue Etier, Ethier in Montreal North. So guys, give her a call. She will definitely help you with all real estate needs. And thank you so much for sponsoring Sessions with Stef. And now we get to the interview, the talk, the chat, whatever you want to call it. I call it a chat.
It's a chat.
And I keep doing this because of these chats. Because let me introduce, first of all, our fantastic singer, guitar player, songwriter. You probably have other hats, but I'm going to go. Those are the three most popular ones. So Dan Bano from the band Astral Gates is here. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
This is amazing. I noticed the Clash t-shirt that you
I
got,
love
which
the
is
Clash,
pretty
man.
cool, man. That's
love
awesome.
the Clash. Love the Clash.
So once again, thank you for doing this. This is fantastic. I'm going to start with hard-hitting questions.
All right.
Not even close.
Let's go. Get right into it.
Okay, so do you have other hats, or is that what you concentrate on? Singer, songwriter, and guitar playing.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, those are the main hats.
Yeah.
But we do everything ourselves, right?
I would imagine. Yeah.
So, you know.
You have your hand in everything.
Yeah,
right?
our hands are everywhere. We're doing marketing, we're promo, we're doing a lot of the back end too, our own production. Dom, our guitar player, is also doing the mixing.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's like we're very much in house. We have like our own system, and we're doing it all by ourselves. Cool. Our music videos, for the most part, have been edited by Dave, our drummer.
Oh my God!
So amazing. Yeah, we JJ, Dom, Evan, we all get involved in. Well, that's in all of that.
I'm gonna cut you off. To start off, let's start the podcast. The band is called Astral Gates, guys. I checked out a bunch of videos. Yep. They are fantastic. They've got a sound that's, you know what? It's hard to put a finger on because I hear the rock stuff.
Right.
I hear the a little bit more laid back stuff, and it's kind of like a mix of rock mixed with, like, I don't want to say new age, but it's got like a soothing sound to it. Is that right?
I mean, yeah, I guess it could be.
That's how
depending
I
on
see
who's
it.
Listening, for sure. Yeah.
I definitely love the sound. It's fun. By the way, whoever mixes is great. So give us, let's introduce the other guys in the band.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and the band itself. Like, give a little speech on the band.
Yeah, like, for sure. So there's myself. I mean, we just introduced me. So guitar player, singer, songwriter too. Then there's Evan. Evan is out in Toronto. So I'll just tell you the history so you can understand who was who and how we all came to be. Right.
Amazing.
But I met Evan like a long time ago at a job that we had, and we started talking about music. We decided to jam, and I was telling him that I wanted to get into making songs for like commercials, and so he came over and we wrote like a truck commercial song. It was very like focused on like a pickup truck style commercial. So it was like hard rock, blues and stuff. And we had a great time doing it. And then I showed him some music that I had written, and he had heard one particular song called Cold Sweat. And he said, yeah, you should make at least an EP with all this music. And I had been writing for a while, so I had a lot of demos, and so did he. So we came together and we started, writing, and that's how the first EP was born.
Oh, wow, okay.
We wrote the first EP together, and enlisted Dave Traina to produce it, and he played drums on the
tracks.
Yeah, on the tracks. So,
which good call on that one, like good pick.
Great drummer. I mean, it was a no-brainer. You know what I mean? So once he got into it, he liked the sound, and we all vibed really well. And I knew Dave before, we went into the studio. I've known him for a while. So it just clicked, and he was like, let's keep in touch. And at one point, I'm in Toronto pushing the music, and on the way back, and I was writing the second EP with Evan, who at this time was back in Toronto.
So it's just the three of you?
Just the two of us, and then we had Dave producing.
Okay.
And Derek too. We were at the Freak Shop basically doing all of that. And I'm on the way back home from Toronto, and I call Dave, and I'm like, all right, I'm coming back to Montreal. Let's put a band together. If you know any drummers, I'm going to start there, who are like dedicated and look the part and who love rock and like to experiment. Let me know, send me the number. And he texts me a number, but it's his own number. He texted me his number. He
even played the game, right?
This guy literally played the game.
I love
it. He was suave, man. You know what I mean? Like, such
a
suave character. I'm like, look at this guy sending me his number.
How funny is that?
So I'm like, okay, touche. So I said, that's a great call, man. I'm like, I'm honored. Will you have time? And he's like, I'll make time. I'm like, great. What a guy,
Yeah.
And I'm like, who else do you know? Can you refer anyone else?
Yeah.
And he gave me Dom's name, and he gave me JJ's name. We all met up.
Wow.
And the rest is history. And we get together, we jam out, we write the tunes, we collaborate with Evan out in Toronto. So we have him on like FaceTime with us when we're doing our recording and our writing sessions.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So what is it, five?
Five,
members?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Evan's our fifth member out in Toronto.
That is sweet.
Yeah.
What does Evan play?
He plays everything.
Oh.
Yeah, legitimately plays everything. I mean, he'll say he doesn't play drums, but tomorrow he'll just start playing drums. It's Evan. Like,
so
he's a wizard. He's a wizard. You have to see this guy.
You hate.
Yeah, check him out. His IG is Falcone, Falcxne. Check him out. Really talented guy.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I hate when they're too talented. It's like,
Oh, I love
man.
it. I love it.
Oh, no, I love it. Exactly.
I'm milking it. I'm
Jealous.
like, what else can you bring to the table?
I'm
Yes.
jealous of that.
He's amazing. They're all wizards in their own way, really.
For sure.
That's the nice thing about this group of guys is that they really love music, and we're all good friends, you know. But what's more is that when they come together in a room to make music, the energy is so positive, you know.
Yeah.
It's ceremonious. Making an album with these guys is ceremonious. It involves like food. It involves barbecuing. It involves like long hours together talking about the songs and eating and drinking. And it's a party. Making the music is
You guys
a
need an
party.
extra member?
I mean, what? Well, you know,
Fucking shaker or whatever it is,
right?
man. Just give me the booze. And the
I
food.
feel like the bigger the gig, the more it'll justify to have that 12-piece band. You know,
You know what?
trumpets,
the hell?
everything.
Why not? Man?
Why not? Yeah.
So you know what? Before we go on, let's watch. I'd like to see I've seen it already, but I'd like to show everyone the first release, not the first, the latest release, which is called Supersonic Shift.
Yeah, Supersonic Shift.
Which wow, I really love the sound.
Thank you,
I love the
man.
video.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it, guys.
Let's
wanna-
do it.
You know, I don't want to keep them guessing. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
'cause you
Why?
sound-
Why?
You know what you're talking about. You're like, this guy looks cool. Sounds, he knows what he's talking about. I'm dying to see this. So I want to see it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So let's go to Supersonic Shift. Here it is. I love the tempo of the tune too. Right? Like
It's very like summery.
yeah.
Songs of rage under the steel truss bridge where their dreams all seem to fade.
That was filmed on the roof of the Freak Shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Never take sight of
Wow.
who's to blame. Numb yourself from what's the matter. You think you all have it made.
I love the halftime feel. Good.
Euphoric sense of blindness is how they all choose to be. Children of the poor are dying and no one looks to see. Tension in the world is rising, but you don't ask a thing.
Stop being so blind, you know?
Yes.
That's the meaning.
It's beautiful. Oh, we're going to talk about the meaning. It's obviously a very deep song.
Perfect time for a supersonic shift in your mind. It's a perfect time for a supersonic shift in your mind. I don't know where we're heading. I don't know what you've been told. Seems to me like the story's fading and the joke is getting old. And we all spiral down in silence when we're faced with a choice to make.
Are you the lyric man?
To be
In this particular case, the lyrics were written first before the music. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the lyrics gave you the vibe that you wanted to go for.
100%.
Wow.
It doesn't always happen that way. Yeah. It doesn't always happen.
It's a perfect time for a
Video is great.
supersonic shift in your mind.
Yeah, Dave did the edits for that. Yeah.
Wow.
He was like, I'll give it a shot. He gives it a shot. So I started calling him Dave Scorsese. That's like every time I see him, like Dave Scorsese.
Wow.
He's a mastermind. Anything he touches, gold. Dave Traina.
Wow.
You know
have
what
a
I mean?
story
With
about
the
Dave.
fades and stuff.
Look at that.
Look at him. Look at him getting all creative. JJ faked that stock footage. He did a great call. He found the perfect
It's a perfect
person for that section of the song, you know?
for a supersonic shift in your mind. It's a perfect time for a supersonic shift in your mind.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Wow. Wow. I love it.
That was a fun one to make.
That
Took us a while to get there.
I
Had to
can
redo a
imagine.
whole bunch of shit. It was
just to get all that footage must have been because
Oh my god! Even in the making of the song.
really, eh?
So the lyrics were written back in like during the pandemic.
Okay. Wow.
It was about everything that was going on, and every side of the story that you can think of, we were capturing in the lyrics, with the whole idea of the chorus being, now is if there's any good time to change the way you think, even if it's about yourself, it's now.
It's now.
It's the time to start trusting yourself and being a better person, and stop being blind to what's around you and take action if you feel like something is wrong, instead of just sitting there and assuming that you know how to solve a problem.
Solve it.
But you're from a distance, so you're really like you're the bystander in the end of the day. So stop being a bystander is what that song. Have the shift and just if you want to make change in the world,
Now would be the perfect time.
exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
No, it's fantastic musically, lyrically, vocally. Really good job.
Thanks a lot.
Fantastic.
Thanks
I really,
a lot.
I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Does every song get to me that's deep. Right?
Yeah, I'd say that's the deepest.
That's the deepest. Okay.
Yeah, for now.
For now. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. It really depends on how we feel. You know what I mean?
So where did you get the calling to sing and songwrite and music? How did music catch you? Was it as a child?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents always had music on in the background at home, so it was Saturday mornings, people are cleaning the house. My parents are out vacuuming, putting things away, and there would just be like Rod Stewart blasting in the background, Eros Ramazzotti blasting in the background. And they would just go through every CDs back then, vinyls, so they would just put music on all day. And so I was this little kid running around, and there's music on all the time in my house, all the time. And then when we got older, everyone kind of like went into their own rooms and did their own thing, but everyone had music on in their own rooms. My brother would listen to rap, and my sister was listening to dance music, and I was listening to blues.
Did you start on the guitar, or was it vocally first?
No, it was guitar.
It was guitar.
Yeah, it was guitar. Yeah, I didn't start singing until much later.
Really?
Yeah, because most of the time I was focusing on just playing guitar. I just love to play blues guitar, so that's what I would do, and noodle around, write some really terrible songs. That was how it started.
That's how it all starts.
Yeah, and I still write terrible songs. I just don't. Those are not the ones that I put out. I don't finish those ones. But yeah, my dad is a guitar player and sings as well, and he has his own band too, and he's been playing covers his whole life. So.
Oh, really? What band is that?
It's a band now that he's retired, and him and his friends who are in it, they're called Morgan Fog, now they're called the Morgan Street Band.
Okay.
Yeah, because they practice on a street called Morgan Street.
Funny.
So,
oh my god.
Yeah, they're cool, man. They have a really cool sound.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they play CCR and all those
great.
classic bands,
Yeah.
And they're really
awesome.
tight too. Yeah.
Cool.
So. Yeah, it's awesome.
So that helps, right?
Well, I grew up playing with my dad. You know what I mean? I played guitar with him. He played guitar, and he would sing, and I would sing backups. And then I was just in bands as a backup singer and guitar player until I realized that, in order to put the songs forward, it'd be good if I started singing, because I had all these song ideas. And if you write a song and you connect with it, you ought to sing it,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that's how I got into it. And then I started singing, and I started taking it more and more seriously as I started to shut off the rust of that prepubescent voice. So yeah, it's been a while. I think I started playing when I was 7 or 8.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been a while.
And did you ever take? Did you went for courses, guitar courses, that kind of thing? You just learned on your own?
Yeah. Well, it started off with DVDs. I would watch Santana DVDs, Stevie Ray Vaughan DVDs, and I would slow-mo on the DVD player to catch exactly what they were doing.
What he's doing, okay. Wow.
I'd beg my dad to get me those Hal Leonard tab books.
Yeah.
So I could learn things. That's how I learned, scales is through a lot of these artists, just learning their solos. It kind of just takes you through the entire neck.
Yeah.
And then I started learning. I got some lessons from different, you know.
A course here, a course there, a guy here, a guy there.
Yeah, exactly. I had some good training with some good guys, but never really went to school like per se.
Yeah, no, different.
Outside of songwriting, I had done a certificate with Berkeley at one point.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it was one of the best musical experiences I've ever had in my life. It was really, really eye-opening, and it kind of shaped the way I saw music and how I wanted to approach, you know, a music career. And that's when I really started to focus on songwriting. So for the first half of this, it was all just playing guitar and playing covers and
Gotcha, yeah.
jamming with my dad.
And what bands would you say give you inspiration? Like, is there one band that you say, these guys, like, every, you know, I listen to all kinds of music, but every month I have to listen to the, you know, that album one time? Or was it just a general keeps on getting better or different and
Yeah, it was always something that changed. Like I went through phases. Phases where like all I listened to was Santana. All I did. Months of Santana.
Of course.
On loop.
Yeah.
Months and years of Stevie Ray Vaughan. Years of only Stevie Ray Vaughan. When I was in high school, okay, we had a music class, and obviously I was going to play guitar in this class. Everyone knew, so I started playing guitar. And one of the other kids in the grade wanted to put together like a cover band to go do the variety show, and they were like, "Yeah, we're going to play Blink-182. We're going to play this. We're going to play that." They're like, "Do you play any of that?" And I'm like, and I told them straight up, I'm like, I only play Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan and Santana. That's all I play right now. And they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I don't play anything else. I'm focusing on only those three."
Just that.
And they were like, they were blown away. Like, "You don't want to play the cool stuff?" I'm like, "I want nothing to do with that." I learned all of that later. I was like, when I had like, you know, when I already had the blues going and I had that down, and I was happy with that.
Wow.
I started switching to all the other stuff.
Actually, someone I had on the podcast saw Stevie Ray. Oh no, someone played with Stevie Ray Vaughan. Frank Marino actually.
Oh right.
Played with Stevie Ray Vaughan, and a bass player here in town, Mike Marino, who was on this podcast, is his nephew and was at the show. He goes, he's such a figure. When he walks on the stage, it's like he invokes tears. He's so powerful. You know?
You just know he's going to be great.
You just know his vibe just takes over the whole arena or wherever he is, concert hall. And
he exudes bluesman. It's the marketing behind him with that.
Is it marketing or is it him?
Well, obviously he's a legendary guitar player.
Like he just has
such tenacity, and then he's got like this Texan gunslinger vibe to him.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know if you ever saw Ray Vaughan in the Austin City Limits, I think in 92. He was in his early 30s. It was because he had done 2 sets there.
Okay.
One in the 80s and then one in, it was early 90s, right before his passing. And man, he comes on stage and it's like he had this aura. Sober though, completely sober this time. But he had this aura about him and he played amazing. Really killed it. Like
I love that.
The technique and the tenacity, and a lot of the solos that he played from song to song sounded relatively similar. He had his licks and his vibe and how he did it, but his attack, his tone, his energy, that's what people, and obviously the speed and technicality that he played in, it was just like, wow, on 13 gauge guitar strings, which are like thick, they're thick. He would rip it like a beast. So like I was always drawn to people who are super passionate when they play. Hendrix, Ray Vaughan, Carlos Santana, they're theatrical when they're playing guitar. Eric Clapton too, to a degree, even though he looks like nothing's happening. It's this, he has this way of moving.
It's his way.
It's his way. He's got a swagger to him,
absolutely.
And he plays a very melodic guitar. So melodic guitar solos is always something that I've really gravitated towards. So
sweet. And then did it go into the rock side of it? Did it get heavier? Did it get lighter? Did it did you do that whole 80s hair metal bands?
I never got too into the 80s hair metal.
It was quite
I mean, did I learn a couple of Def Leppard along the way? Like, of course,
who doesn't?
Obviously you're going to learn some Def Leppard, know. But no, because Ray Vaughan was the 80s for me.
Gotcha.
So when you say 80s, I think of Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what it is for me. I'm
and
one
now,
of those guys.
What are you listening to now?
Literally,
Astral Gates.
I don't. It's fine. I never really, outside of listening to the songs on the way to being produced and released,
Well, the thing is, you hear it about a million times.
I
in
hear
the
it
studio,
so
You
much.
record it. It's over.
By the time it's out, it's like
Yeah,
I
I
want
know.
nothing to do with
I
it.
know.
I want to start writing the next one. I'm just
It's
I'm stuck in this.
true,
I'm
eh?
always stuck in the process of like I love
Until
to
you play it live.
until you play it live.
Then it has a new.
It gets rekindled
Yeah.
with this new energy, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I think about one of the songs we play all the time. It's called My Time. It's one of the first songs we released, Evan and I, on EP1, and that song has taken such a life of its own. Even the way we play it live today, you know, it's like we really jam it out and have a good time with it. And so that's the beauty about playing the music that you
Yeah.
write,
Right.
because
Yeah.
when you're out there and you're performing them live, you have an opportunity to now present them in another way that you didn't have a chance to in the recording.
Yeah. And you see yourself as a musician evolve, or not doesn't mean get better, just evolve, like change throughout the times, you know. At certain parts you wanna, I don't know, you add more of yourself now. You know, a song could have been
100%.
written 10 years ago, but now for some reason I just want to have that little edge that I like it a little heavier now. So I might, you know, put some distortion. I don't know, whatever it may
Totally.
be, you know.
Yeah,
And it's
totally.
fun to see that progression in. I used to love watching concerts. I still do, but when a band would not play it exactly like the original,
Oh yeah,
it's like it takes me away, and I'll watch that 100 times.
yeah.
You know, just to see like
The live versions, you always go for
it's
the
all
live
about
version.
that, right?
Yeah.
For me.
And I've always loved bands that take live and make it, you know, all the songs intertwine into each other.
Yeah,
One band that's fantastic at that is Coldplay. Have you seen
See,
them?
I've
live?
never seen them live, and you know what? I need to see them live because I've heard so many good things about them live that
Coldplay live is next level epic.
really, eh?
It is so epic.
Okay. I also kind of like Imagine Dragons. They got to me as well. I don't know.
I haven't
why.
seen them.
I haven't seen them, but I've seen them on shows, and I'm like, okay, there's something original to that because it's kind of like I don't want to say Pink Floyd because no one touches Pink Floyd, but they have that theatrical added
yeah, for
bonus to it, and yeah, I don't know. I just found it a cool vibe, kind of
vibe.
almost the Coldplay vibe.
Yeah.
Sorta.
See, but Coldplay, what they do that's spectacular is they really take you through a movement. It's like I when I was in university, I took a music class as an elective, and I had to go to the school. McGill had like an orchestra,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I don't know, whether it was a class or program, and on the odd night they would have this, you know, performance, and I think anyone could have went if you were in a class of music. So
Okay.
I went into this class, sat down, I would listen to orchestra music, like a whole symphony going at it, you know, beautiful. The way one song just like leads into another. And then when I went to go see Coldplay for the first time, this was when they had released the Milo Zolotto album. So they had a lot of old songs and a lot of new ones. And they had their branding down packed. Like you go into the Bell Center and everyone got these bracelets on both hands, on both wrists.
Okay.
You get into the arena, and then when the show starts, the lights go down, and on the big monitor it says, "Everyone put your hands up." And as soon as Chris Martin comes on stage and hits those first chords on the piano, because it's so like super dark, as soon as he hits those chords on piano, the lights go on him, and the entire Bell Center lights up like a Christmas tree. And as he's playing the beginning of a song, the lights are flashing at the tempo of the song.
Oh my God.
And everyone just loses their fucking minds.
What's happening here?
And I was like, what's happening? This is insane. Freaking out. And then for like a good hour and a half, I was up, standing up, freaking out.
freaking out. Like,
Yeah,
what's
one song
happening?
after another, how they would break down into a jam, and then like all of a sudden he would start playing what you think is Yellow, and then bam, it's Yellow. He grabs the guitar and off you go. Yellow balloons are falling through the sky on you. It's like thousands of balloons.
Wow, so cool.
The huge catwalk, and he's just running down like he's a little kid in the park, and everyone's just jumping around singing Yellow. Like
What the fuck?
what the fuck is
Yeah,
happening?
man.
You know, I've never been so engaged in a concert in my life.
There's nothing. Well, you took one of my questions later, but as to what's your best favorite?
That
live
was
show?
it. That was it. And I've seen all of them. I saw Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, like you name it. I've seen
Wow.
all the greats.
Wow.
But from a performance perspective, that one just like to this
Really
day.
cool, eh?
Oh yeah, man! If they come back to Montreal,
You're there.
I'm
First one
there. Yeah, I'm
Did
there.
you get a chance to see the Foo Fighters last week?
I didn't. I tried to get tickets.
It was impossible.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Johnny, who was here before, went.
He went. Did he like it?
He said he was great. Eh? Is that what he said? He said it was great.
I would have loved to seen them.
Especially in a small venue. Nothing beats those small venues. When you catch a band, that's fun.
There was like barely any promo. No one knew about it. Just
I know.
They pop up. Yeah, we're going to be over there, Verdun, where?
Auditorium.
Some little remote place. Yeah.
What the hell's that all about?
Yeah.
You know,
That's like
no time to prepare.
Yeah.
You're just in and out. Like, come on, Dave.
Prince, when he was alive, right before he died, he came to Montreal a couple months before. He did his show, and then he was in his hotel room, and then he just tweeted, "I want to go play." It was like 1 a.m. or something, and he went to a bar. They said, "Hey, whoever wants to hang out, I want to play at a bar." Was it a bar or like a?
I think it was a bar. Yeah.
It was a bar.
Yeah.
He just went to some little bar on Saint Laurent kind of thing, walked in and did a set, piano voice. It's like, what the fuck? How funny is that? It's
amazing.
What the fuck?
It's absolutely amazing.
We had a comedian on, not sessions with Stef, but Let's Talk It Out. And comedians, they get to practice. Like, they go anywhere to practice. You know, they can't just go and do a set live at Just for Laughs. They're going to go to all these little bars. Like Jerry Seinfeld in New York, if you're at a little local club, he'll walk in and do a set like that. And I wish they had the same thing for musicians. Like Sugar Sammy was at Sugar Sammy was at what's it called?
Melrose.
Melrose.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, I wish musicians were like, oh, you need to practice your set. Why don't you come to my house in the backyard and do a little? Or you're at a bar having a drink, and all of a sudden, fucking Coldplay is practicing a song. Hey guys, you like the song? It's like, what the fuck?
That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Hell of a setup needed, but yeah, it would be amazing.
I always wonder that. It's like, just to practice a tune, jam it out.
It's not a bad idea though.
Not a bad idea.
To start that.
Let's do that. I'm gonna call, I don't know, Coldplay and say, hey, dude,
right here,
right?
Call their management and be like, sessions with Stefano. Practice new material.
I was talking about Dave. We were talking about Dave Traina, and the funny thing is, he was on the podcast a little while ago. So I always knew him as Dave Traina, the drummer, and we did that song together with Francesca. Mm-hmm. So I knew him from there, and I spoke to him because he was mixing it and all of that.
Yeah.
So to me, that's Dave Traina. And so I thought I met him for the first time here on the podcast. I was like, hey, nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. And he's like, dude, I used to see you every single day. I was like, what? He worked at ETAL. I was at ETAL every day. We used to talk for who knows how long about drum stuff. And I never put together that's the same fucking guy till he said, dude, I saw you every day. I was like, oh my God, Dave. Like, I used to walk in, Dave, what's happening? What do you think about this? And then, that's cool. And we would talk all the time, but I just never associated Dave Traina, the producer, as that guy. And because that was years ago. And it was like, oh my God, I felt like such an idiot.
That's
but
so
I'm like,
funny.
Wow, yes, now I know why you're so fucking nice. He's always been fucking nice.
He's always been nice.
He's such a great guy.
He's always been nice.
My God, what a guy.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy, Dave Traina.
Yeah. Dave, you're a great guy.
Dave, you're a great guy, Dave.
So Astral Gates now. What is there plans? Is in the sense of, I don't know. Is there you gonna take it on tour? Is it just releasing CDs for now? Is it playing live as much as you can, or more recording? What's the outlook?
It's all of it, man.
It's all of it.
Yeah, it's all of it.
Okay.
So it's never one goal. It's like, let's do all of it.
So it's rock and roll. It's like
rock and roll.
Wherever we are now, if we get a bunch of dates, let's do that. If we have to do a bunch of songs because we're filling it, let's do it. And I love that.
We've got a lot of music. Like, I quit my job 10 years ago to just write music. So did Evan.
Serious? Wow.
A lot of songs in the catalog. Every guy in that band has a lot of experience writing. So there's so many songs, man. So many songs. So it's like all we think about is just making music and putting music out. So as long as we just keep doing that, we'll end up playing more shows. We'll end up going on a tour. We'll end up, it's just a matter of getting better. I think focusing on the craft. That's the most important thing. And that's what we're doing. We're having a great time doing it, and we'd love to. We'd love to do all of that. Play more shows. Yeah, for sure, 100%, for sure, in front of new people, and Francesca too.
And Francesca. So what? Do you have ideas for the type of show you want to do? Do you have, you know what I mean? I always get ideas in my head.
Man, if I had to have it my way, Stefano, let me tell you, there'd be cannonballs, man. There'd be fireworks.
I love that.
You know, everyone would forget wristbands that light up, man. They'd have hats that light up, man. You know what I mean?
Would you do the Michael Jackson thing with the...
Yeah,
and what was it? He used to go flying in midair. He had a vest. He had a fucking vest, a rocket launcher vest, and he was flying.
I'd rocket launch. I'd rocket launch.
David Lee Roth, you know.
Why not?
Was it
Why
David Lee
not?
Roth that came on a string?
Yeah, it was
David Lee
him.
Roth,
It was
right?
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dare to
How
be wild.
cool is that? Or Tommy Lee used to fucking do a drum solo and the fucking...
And the thing would
in
turn around.
it was like a sphere, a circle, and the drum set was in that circle, and he used to turn and go upside down, and it was all stuck together.
I mean, you're putting on a show in the end,
putting
right?
on a
You
show,
know what I
it's-
mean? So it's important. It's important to have something dynamic. But yeah, from a show perspective, that would be...
Funny story.
Wild.
I was in Calgary last week, and I was with my son, and we went for a walk, and I was across from McMahon Stadium.
Okay.
My hotel was there, so I was like, "Hey man, looks like there's a few cars. Let's take a walk." I was bored. We went for a walk. The stadium's wide open. It's like, what the hell's this? So I'm walking and I'm hearing music. I'm like, what's going on? So I get on the field, and so Stampede Week was this week. They had a showdown of the show bands for Stampede Week. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen a show band, but there's like 150 people on the field at the same time. Musicians, dancers, singers. When I say
Wow.
musicians, there's like 40 horn players,
Holy smokes.
tubas, drums playing, like 30 drummers, people doing flips. I was like, what the
That's wild.
I was on the field and they were doing a competition of these bands. And you had to see, I was blown away. The band that I saw had about 100 people. I'll show you some videos after. There was about 100 people on the field. And I'm talking tubas, trumpets, all in sync, moving in sync, doing with other people dancing and drums. And then the next band had to come out. So they finish, everyone claps. 2 minutes, the whole band, drums, sound system,
Oh my God.
mics, everything just went. Other band came on, played the next song. I was like, whoa, what the fuck's happening, right? So I go take a look. I walk down and, hey man, the drums were on. Every instrument was on wheels, wired up, ready to go, but movable at the same time. So the sound system was like,
Was just
click,
carry on.
bang, plug, play. Like 2 seconds. The drums were on it was fucking wild, on wheels, but everything was bolted down. So his setup was set up like that on this fucking trailer that would just go play, take it out. I was
Wow.
like, whoa, man. And this is just for like Calgary Stampede, you know?
Really?
So now I'm like, oh, I need to see.
They take it seriously over there.
They take it serious. And then we hear about shows like, you know, Justin Timberlake will come to town and it's like 4 days setup, you know, because they.
Yeah, I know.
But
Because,
it's-
well, he's building mazes and he's walking through them.
Did you see that on Netflix? It's called Tennessee. Not Tennessee Whiskey. I'm confusing the song. The Tennessee Kids. Just
No, I didn't.
It's his band. They call
Oh,
it
yeah?
the Tennessee Kids. So it's kind of like backstage before the show. Then you see, you know, parts of the show, and then they all talk about it. Holy shit! What a
Wow.
production, man!
Yeah, I can imagine.
How they set up everything. It's on Netflix. It's pretty.
I gotta check that out.
It's pretty cool. And
Tennessee Kids.
He's a bit fucked up. Like he's a bit too talented for my liking.
He's on another level.
He's on another level. Yeah, it's like whoa. But anyway, so
Justin.
that fucking Justin, man,
Fucking Justin. So
and he
talented.
rocks out too. Like he really gets
does,
into
eh?
yeah, yeah.
He knows what he's doing. Fucking Justin.
So what are you working on right now? Like, is there a song or video that will be coming out shortly?
We
I know that Supersonic Shift came out not too long ago. Right?
no, yeah, it didn't come out too long ago. Now we have another song coming out on Friday. It's called One More Night.
Oh shit! Really? Like on Friday? That's great.
On Friday.
On Friday.
This
What-
Friday, and a whole EP comes out on Friday as well
Wow.
with that song. So it's the last 5 songs together as an EP, and then we have another 5 songs coming out over the span of the next 5 to 7 months, just one song at a time, and then we're going to be done with that, and that's one album.
Yeah. Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
And is there one project or one song or one video that you're most proud of from Astral Gates?
I mean, I like them all, really.
They all are.
You know, like because we do a lot of the work ourselves, so we're just proud of it. once
That
it's
is,
done.
I have to say, I commend you on all.
Yeah,
of
like
that.
all of it's being done
Wow.
in house, man.
Wow.
So
that's
it's
really
just so much like, you know, work on one, but
Yeah.
we're getting better and better as we do it. The whole idea is to have, you know, an entire production facility in house
That's so good.
where we've you know got our, you know, our process down, and we're able to, you know, write, churn out music, churn out content, or churn out videos, thing about videos is tricky. It's like promoting a video is almost a full-time job itself.
100%, yeah.
So you have to kind of ask yourself where do you want to index your time here, you know? Like ultimately you want to make music because you need to make music, and the music has to be good. So putting the focus on that is like of the most importance.
Yeah, of course.
But you know,
it's hard to filter that, like when you have videos and stuff in your.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you put together a fantastic team, and it seems
helps.
like everyone knows
their part and how to do it. But everyone has like a specific skill set that they bring to the table, so they know right away. Okay, for this part of the process, JJ's our guy. He knows this artwork here. He's gonna go and find this stuff, and then Evan will be on the pre-prod and very involved there. Dom on the mixing. I'll be thinking of like song ideas. I'll be collaborating with everyone to get more song ideas going, and Dave will jump in when it comes down to production at the Freak Shop, and then he'll jump in on the video editing, and we'll film it. If Supersonic was filmed on the roof of the Freak Shop on like a Tuesday night, we climbed up with a ladder.
It was with a phone.
It was with a phone, yeah, it's all with the phone. He was filming with the phone, and then Dom had 2 phones for lighting, and he was really just behind him with phones.
No.
Yeah,
you gotta see now you just blew my mind.
Yeah, it's like there's no professional equipment. It was just like 2 phones for light and 1 phone for for shooting the video. 3 dudes climbing up on a roof, very dangerous.
The video we just saw was that. See, that is super impressive.
Yeah, and then we went on the line and we got stock footage, and we synced it up with the video, and Dave did all the editing. So
that is really impressive.
Yeah, so for us, making a video is big.
The important part is that it looks like you hired a crew. That, like, if you told me we spent $40,000 on that video, I would say, oh yeah, I totally see it.
Right.
And I'm not a word of a lie, because that was really well done.
Technology, man.
Yeah. And I thought I knew what the fuck I was talking about.
Yeah.
I guess I don't.
No, yeah. So
now I want to watch another video, man. Like let's do this.
So this next one. Yeah. So if you type in "you do."
Holy shit.
This was another DIY.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I would never be able to tell.
A smoke machine.
A blue light?
Flashlights, yeah.
Wow. Actually, the blue, you can do it in the editing, but...
So we were playing in this warehouse here. Like, see that red light behind that was flashing just there?
Yeah?
Like, that was a security system. If we went past that light, the entire security alarm would have gone on and everything. So we were recording the video, like...
That's hilarious.
In the warehouse, and attached to Dom's pad. Dom has a pad there. And that's the bathroom of the building. Completely erected. We colored on
graffiti and all.
Everything. We cleaned it up after, but they ended up renovating that bathroom like 2 weeks later.
Oh my god. That's hilarious. Wow, man.
Awesome.
That's fantastic, man.
Right on.
I'm a little jealous that that's
So
a do-it-yourself.
That was a do-it-ourselves, yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, smoke machines and the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Dave's girlfriend, Vanessa, she just like, she directed the whole thing. Yeah, she came in, she was like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. She fucking set up the curtains, we got the lighting going. It's a whole production.
Wow.
Yeah.
People have like production meetings for like hours and months before to do a video.
No, this was very much kind of like,
I love it, man.
Dave was like, Vanessa can get involved. She has a good idea. She ran it by us by email. We were like, yeah, that's awesome. She told us what we need to bring. We showed up and she told us where to be, what to do.
Wow.
We grabbed our shit, got into that little bathroom
And
just rocked on.
Let's rock it, man.
Got into the warehouse, avoided the security alarm. We filmed it right there with ladders, and she was on the top of the ladder filming down to get all the angles.
Just her camera?
Yeah.
Just her phone?
Just the phone, yeah. Yeah.
And that, like, I can tell there was quite a few takes on that.
Quite a few.
Like, I would imagine there's a lot of angles, a lot of cuts.
A lot of angles, a lot of cutting.
Wow,
Yeah.
Great stuff, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of work, but it was fun.
Wow.
You wanted that. You need to have some footage for all the songs if you can. So we figured if we're going to do it ourselves, let's pick ones that we feel like could have the most contrast. Supersonic, you do is like completely different worlds.
So I was going to say, what's obviously you love it all because you write all the music. What would be your go-to? Like, would you consider Astral Gates more of the harder, like the you do style? Is the Supersonic Shift sound more of a more mature Astral Gates?
You know what? It's interesting because we're 5 guys now, and so when we're jamming ideas out, everyone starts adding in their flavor, and so you never know what you're going to get out of a jam, So we're still, as a band, always kind of discovering what we all bring to the table. Like, we're always kind of looking at the collective musical intelligence and like, how are we all contributing to something? Okay. So, the ideas, they go from hard rock to soft acoustic, and I'll bring demos to the band that I've written 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
And they'll be like, oh, that's cool, let's try something with that, and vice versa. Other guys will have old ideas that we'll bring in. So we're trying not to say we're going to sound just like one thing.
Yeah.
Because what's the fun in that? If you want to do art, you just got to let it out, Yeah.
Sometimes you hear it from all ends. You need an identity and you
I
stick
know.
with it. And I'm like, well, what if my identity is all identities? Like, what if I like to do...
My rule of thumb is never listen to anyone who tells you how you should be.
Yeah, 100%.
Because no one knows you. So if anyone's saying you need to do this, it's because they feel that that's what they need to do for them, and they want to validate that way of thinking
for them
by telling you that you have to do it to get you to agree with them. So the more agreeable you are, the more it validates their own view of themselves, and that means that inherently they're a little bit insecure about who they are.
Gotcha.
So
what? I feel like getting a couch right now. Yeah.
Well, no one ever tells, no one who is happy with what they're doing and discovering themselves will ever tell someone else how they have to be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They'll just be like, that's awesome.
Lisa, can you bring a couch here? We're gonna have a real session with Dan.
You know what? Like, you hear it all.
No, but it's very true though. You're 100%
it's
right.
Projection. That's what it is.
Especially in music, Especially in music.
100%. And I've had so many conversations with so many artists who are like, I don't want to, because I also write with other artists too.
Yeah.
And so many times it happens where I'll be sitting down with an artist and there'll be a very strict sense of like sticking to an identity.
Yeah.
But the whole point of music is to give yourself to the moment, and sometimes your creative genius lies somewhere that you didn't even know you were ever going to go.
Yeah.
And then when you went down that rabbit hole with an idea, perfect example, Face Down in the Mirror. Mm-hmm. When it was the first idea, it was just JJ was playing a bass. And he kept telling me, he goes, I think there's a song here, And I'm like, JJ, I don't hear it. I don't hear it. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, come on, man. It's like, think Vegas, think this, think summer days. And so we started getting some lyric ideas and started humming in the bluesy vibe that I do. And he was like, yeah, that's it. I still didn't hear it. We get to the chorus. He's like, don't worry. When we get together with the band, it'll come together. And so I'm not going to tell myself, this guy's crazy. What is he talking about? I don't hear it. What does he hear? Maybe he's right. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we try it out.
Yeah. And then if it works.
And man, we get into the studio and we jam and the whole band comes together. And then at first we couldn't get the chorus going to fit right. And the lyric "played me," which is the beginning of the chorus, the way it was structured in the stanza was to be part of the chorus. And when the way we were playing the rhythm in the song, it wasn't fitting. And so we kept coming to a halt every time we got to the chorus. And then I stopped and I said to the guys, what if we take "Played Me" and just sing it a bit earlier on its own when the drop happens? So you played me, bow. Then instead of singing it on the one, it was the break between the verse and the chorus. There was a stop. Let's put "Played Me" there and really accentuate those two lyrics. And when I did that, and then we hit the chorus, then it was like, face down in the mirror. Everyone looked at each other like, fuck. And that was the moment where I was like, holy shit.
That bass line.
Now it all makes sense to me. It was a matter of just digging. We're like five guys mining for something cool,
Find that little gem.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of the process,
Yeah,
And,
100%.
And that's the best part. So to answer the question, I know that was a very long-winded answer.
That's fine.
But to answer your question, it really comes down to...
We got a therapy session in there.
So,
great. Man, it's all good.
2 for 1 special, Coming out of that, it's like we realize, why be anything but yourself portrayed in different environments,
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing with our music. It's like, if I want to go pop, let's go pop.
Yeah.
If we want to go rock, let's go rock. It's just a matter of... One guy I really admire who did that is a guy like Ed Sheeran and Post Malone, right? Ed Sheeran did a collaboration album, and he was doing hip-hop tracks with, rappers, and he was doing stuff with Chris Stapleton and Bruno Mars, and it was like totally rock, and it was on the same album. It made no sense, right? But it made so much sense because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what normally happens is when they make some money, then they really, because now they can put their money wherever it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, this is the interesting part, is that even in that album, there's still some very big money-making hits. It's just money-making hits in different ways that we never thought because we're associating it with the artist. Look at Post Malone, right? Post Malone is like pop, but he had so much, rap and trap and all that. And then he was like collaborating with, with different artists and playing Metallica songs and just doing whatever the hell he wants. Because in the end of the day, I think as generations progress, we're starting to, when it comes down to categorizing, we're starting to, in genres themselves, we're starting to kind of break down the walls. Yeah, thankfully, because what is genre today? It's like everything could be mixed with something. So we're always just going to have more genres of music being created under premise of rock and under the premise of pop.
Yeah.
Blues can also be pop too, right?
It is. Well, at a certain point it was, right?
It was,
Jazz was pop at a certain point.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's whatever is happening in that era is the pop music, but now doesn't mean it's not good music. It's just not popular.
Exactly. So we try and keep it open-ended,
Keep it open-ended.
That's the point.
I'd like to get into some segments here. I've got a couple of segments we're going to touch on. And the first segment is a pretty quick one. It's just worst gig ever. So is there a gig that, and it doesn't mean how bad, like not that you've played bad or it was like just the worst gig because of whatever, the sound or something wild that, because we all have these stories.
Yeah, well, I can't say any worst gigs were with Astral Gates.
Okay.
We had pretty damn good gigs so far.
Amazing.
One of them, which was absolutely off the hook, and I'll get to that one. But the worst gig I ever had was a long time ago. I was in a band called Framework, and we were kind of like a virtual band before anyone was doing the virtual thing.
Okay.
And my buddy Jared was the bass player, but he played key bass, so he was on keyboard, and he also played saxophone. Unbelievable saxophone player. Our drummer Steve, he was out in Boston, and we would get together at my parents' cottage like every quarter of the year to write songs.
He would drive down.
They would drive down to Montreal, and we'd get together for a weekend, and we'd barbecue and make music and jam, and then I would, we'd meet up in different places to play gigs. And one time we were down in somewhere in New York, the state of New York, wasn't New York City, although we had played there, but this was like a festival, an independently organized festival.
Okay.
Anyways, long story short, we got this afternoon slot, and our whole entire concept was heavily based on sequences. You had to have fucking technology working or else you don't have a show.
You don't
right?
know. Gotcha.
So Jared had opened up the laptop, setting up all the stuff with the MIDI keyboard and all this shit, making it
Oh, it's working
happen.
MIDI.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it was wild. The sound guy wasn't able, not much of a sound guy, you know, but wasn't able to get it working. And we were like running out of time because it was a schedule. And we were on stage and like shit wasn't happening. Our songs weren't triggering. The sequences were not starting. So I had my fucking in-ears in and nothing was happening. So at one point Jared looks at me and goes, do something, man. Because like I got to fix this. So I look at Steve and literally at that point it's just me and Steve. So I take off my fucking earphones, you know, and I look at Steve. I'm like, what do you want to do, man? He goes, want to play some blues? And I'm like, all right, cool. So I just started ripping Rave On, Jimi Hendrix, and he was like, "Yeah, I can play that song." And he would just, because he was a monster, so he would just play any song, and we just did a show. It was like a blues. So people were going in there thinking that they're going to get some kind of like jazz electronic fusion, and they got like a duo hard rock blues. Some people were happy, some people were not, but we made the most of it. But it was shitty because, you know, we couldn't really do the actual show we planned for. We planned hard for it. So, but you know, in the moment, the show must go on.
Show must go on.
Luckily, there's always a song that you can, you know, pull out of your hat when you're in trouble. So you just go to the contingency repertoire, pick your favorite 5, and off you go.
That Soundman thing is crazy.
Yeah.
How it affects
everything. So with Astral Gates, no sequences.
Yeah.
No
all live.
Yeah, all live.
All live.
Everything has to be an instrument.
Yeah.
Just makes it feel more organic, you know.
Yeah. I play with a lot of sequences too. It depends the project, but some projects are with sequences.
And some require it, you know.
It depends what you're doing. Yeah, it's useful. Well, when I say we're not in MIDI, because I'm not taking that chance. MIDI is like...
Yeah, anything can...
Yeah, we go audio and you know, we have our fail safes because... stories like that.
Yeah.
So we have the second laptop ready if anything.
Just in case.
And we can play it live. Like if the click is not there,
everyone knows
triggering the medleys, then it doesn't matter. Everybody knows we'll get by. Which has happened live. We're playing and someone's off. It's like stop the sequence, bang, and finish the song as is, and no one notices.
Off you go. Yeah.
All right, so our next segment is called First Thought. I'm just going to ask you some simple questions.
Okay, let's go.
What hits you first?
Man, I have a dirty mind, so hopefully we'll see what happens here.
That's the best part.
All right,
favorite
let's go. Focus. Favorite, oh man.
Favorite food?
Pasta.
You just won me. Forget it. Get the couch. Get the.
Do you want to talk about what kind of pasta? Are we going to go there?
Let's do it.
I absolutely love spaghetti with anchovies.
Oh, like white aglio olio with anchovies?
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
But you got
crunchy bread.
I mean, depending on my mood. Yeah, you gotta toast those breadcrumbs a little. You know what I'm saying?
That is, you know, Francesca does a segment on our other podcast, Li Combate, and it's called Saporito. So she comes up with a nice food and she talks about it. I get hungry. Now I'm hungry. Now, where's the pot?
Do you eat on that? Do you eat on that show? No, you don't eat. Okay.
I think I'm gonna start that.
I was gonna say I'd love to be on that show, but there's no food.
There's no food. Forget
it. Okay.
What about favorite movie?
Scarface.
Nice. Yeah. All right.
Scarface.
So it's Italian blood through and through.
I like Pacino. Pacino's great.
He's great.
Yeah,
he's great.
That's the first one that came to mind. I was about to say Godfather, but anyway, another Pacino. Anyways.
Yeah. True. All right. Now, what if I say? Best guitar player of all time. Yeah.
Why'd you gotta go there, man?
Yeah, man. Wait, there's a worse question after that. You'll see. It's a tough one.
Okay, look, I'm gonna say it. I think it might be Tommy Emmanuel.
Oh, all right. Tommy.
Yeah,
wow.
finger picking, guitar slinger.
First time on sessions that comes up.
I think so. Like he's just unbelievable. But there's so many unbelievable ones, like Joe Bonamassa too. Legend.
Yeah, right.
You know, Ray Vaughan, legend in his own way. Carlos Santana, try to play a solo. Samba Pati, try to play that. You could play note for note, but tone and attack, it's all. That is a song. B.B. King, I mean, I can't answer. I wish I could, man. So many come to mind. I did
myself.
too.
You
Beautiful,
and he
beautiful
cried the whole concert.
performance.
Remember what's his name? John Sereno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Sereno said, "I just started crying. My wife was looking at me. What the fuck? I cried for 3 songs."
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful. The energy is
Yeah.
phenomenal. BB King.
Okay, BB King.
BB King.
So
what a
that's your
legend.
pick?
I mean, many. Yeah, there's many.
He just went through favorite guitar player of all play. He named 14 of them.
Yeah, they're all amazing.
Especially guitar, eh? Like as
Yeah.
a as a keyboard player, as a drummer, you can
pick out the good ones, but guitar player, like I find
there's
guitar
so
is such an extension of.
Yeah, it is because it shaped music. Like Eddie Van Halen shaped guitar playing, which shaped the songs. Like
There's so much you can do with a guitar.
yeah, true.
Just with a whammy bar, you can have an
True.
entire style.
Yeah, then you add a fucking little slider, and it's
Off you
a
go.
whole other style.
An EBO, you see those EBOs?
Yeah,
The
100%.
EBO on there. Where are
Yeah.
you going now?
Where-
Space shuttle.
Yeah, exactly.
Take me to
funny, eh?
the rocket man.
It's funny. It's true.
Telling you, so there's too many options, but
acoustic whole it's the same fucking guitar, just
Yeah.
piece of wood with no electronics, and all of a sudden, well,
there you go. But I mean, if I had to say like the best, who is the reason why most of all the great guitar players have come after, I would assume probably Robert Johnson.
okay, oh, nice.
Who left his soul at the crossroads.
Yeah.
You know that story?
No, I don't.
Robert Johnson was a blues guitar player back in the day, a long time ago. And the Crossroads song,
Yeah.
blues song, where
Yeah.
went down to the crossroad, that one there, great song, but it's about his story, right?
Yeah.
The urban legend that he went down to the crossroads, met the devil, sold his soul to be able to play guitar like a champ, and was the most amazing guitar player back then, and is the reason why Muddy Waters, BB King, and all those guys came after to continue bringing the blues to the world, and then all of the other guys, Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Santana, and everyone even the Rolling Stones and all the British bands, they've all at one point or another were like in love with American blues legends who are all, I would say the disciples of Robert Johnson. So if you said who's the best, I mean, technically he wasn't the best, but he was epic.
Yeah.
And no one can play like him. And so I think what it was all about was guitar being an extension of your personality.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what Robert Johnson brought to guitar playing. Mm-hmm. And that's what shaped the guitar as we know it today.
I know, I do this show, and I would never answer the question because I can't pick. I mean, I could pick. I do it just to stir the shit because I know everything's subjective, and there's so many greats, and it depends the mood. Today, I'll
100%.
pick Jimi Hendrix. But just because I was listening to some Jimi Hendrix yesterday, and he's here.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas next week, maybe I'm listening to Clapton, and
So good.
And I'll say
Clapton's so good.
Oh, they're all these guys. They
Yeah.
made it for a reason back then. Now it's a different story. Back then,
Right, back then it was
there was a reason because they caught everyone's eye everywhere they played.
yeah.
And that makes you felt the vibe, you saw the vibe, and you're
Yeah,
like,
back then
whoa,
it
motherfucker.
was
Now it's like
everyone was playing in the bar.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Now it's like you can see how many people told that person to do that.
Yeah.
it's like
wild. It's wild.
So you feel like people have a remote control. Oh no, she has to do this.
Yeah.
And she has to do that movement and look at the camera and get the wind going.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
It's like
Everything is so scripted.
It's
Back
so
in the day,
scripted.
if you wanted to work on your craft, you had to go and you had to churn out time in these bars and play. Today,
yeah,
most artists you see are playing in front of their phones.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're spending more time showcasing their life
about
and their
content.
process of music rather than actually putting the phone away and focusing on the music. Because you'll write a lot more songs and you'll get a lot further quicker if you just focus on the art.
And
So,
playing live is
super helpful.
Because if you don't do that, you're not. I don't want to say the big break, but it's all about preparation meets opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the definition of luck.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you don't play live, if you're just doing it in front of your phone,
It's not.
or always in the recording studio,
It's just not real.
it's
Is
just
it?
not real.
Music is meant to be shared. So
Yeah, and you have that nervous vibe, which at a certain point has got to go away. You got to get used to
Totally.
it. It's got to be second nature to you. It's important.
especially when you're playing live, because people feel the energy.
Yeah.
If you can't have fun on stage, people won't have fun.
Yeah,
That's the number one.
That's my motto is when I'm on stage,
Yeah.
Forget everything. Just have fun.
I know, man. I tell the guys that all the time. I say, before we go on stage, it's like we're back at the cottage.
Let's have fun.
We're just having a good time.
Yeah. Fuck all the rehearsals.
It's a rehearsal with lights
Yeah.
and people.
Yeah, exactly.
And we go and we have a good time.
Exactly. You know, one of the bands, I'm the oldest guy in the band. And sometimes they're like, what the hell? It's because at that point, now I'm enjoying myself. The preparation, I did it. I was serious. Now I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the whole point. And they're like, what the? Why is
They
the
weren't
oldest
expecting
guy
that.
here? Why does the oldest guy look like he's done triple the amount of gigs because I'm 20?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
why is this guy still having more fun? Like,
It's the
you know,
love of playing live.
yeah.
That's what I love. I love
like
to
it.
play. Yeah.
So I'm going to do the last segment.
Okay.
Because this is a Fearless Sound segment. And it's a fun segment. I really enjoyed it. She came up with the question. I got to give her prop with this question because it fucking threw me for a loop back then. And now I said,
right.
I got to fucking throw everyone for a loop that comes on this show.
Let's do it.
So
Throw
now
me that loop.
you are going to put together your all-time band. Now, this band could be alive or dead, whoever it is. It's no problem. Who's going to play every instrument? If you like 2 guitar players because you want a rhythm and a soloist,
Okay.
a lead, or you can have a keyboard player, whatever you want. This is your band. They kind of should jive together, but not necessarily. If you want it to be funky, like fucking, I don't know, an opera singer with a...
I got it.
Okay, I love it. That was fast.
So I want a backup row of backup singers.
Already.
I want a row of backup singers.
Okay.
Okay. On that row, there's about 5 of them.
Okay.
There's 5 backup
I'm
singers
loving
who are like
this.
singing choir to every song.
Fuck yeah, man.
Okay.
All right.
Tina Turner,
Yeah.
Whitney Houston,
Oh, backup singers.
Aretha Franklin.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna throw you a couple of curveballs.
All right.
Rod Stewart,
Uh-huh.
Brian Adams.
Sweet.
Yeah, those are
So
choir,
the raspy meets the
meets
fucking
the gospel,
vocal,
beautiful. Like,
vocal chop. You know, there's going to be a fight as to who's the first.
Yeah, and you know what?
Backup, because not one of them would be back.
no, you know, and just for fun, I would throw Steve Marriott in there too.
Steve Marriott. Okay.
Yeah, I would throw him from Humble Pie.
Okay. Okay.
Really, really good.
I don't know
You
that.
never saw him?
No, I never saw him. Okay.
I mean, I don't know if we can play. Maybe I'll play a video later. I'll show you. He's unbelievable.
Oh,
Yeah. Then on keyboards, Reese Winan.
Okay.
Reese Winans from Stevie Ray Vaughan's band there.
Yeah,
He also
okay.
played with Joe Bonamassa. Billy Preston
Really-
played with the Beatles.
Yeah.
Oh, man, on bass.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to save Paul McCartney
Sweet.
because I'm going to put him on piano. Because I'm also going to have a piano on stage then. I'm going to have 2 keyboards and a piano.
Oh, fine.
And he'll go from playing piano and acoustic guitar and singing. So Paul McCartney.
Yeah. All right.
Oh man, I kind of want all the Beatles
Who's
on
drumming
stage. I was gonna say John Bonham.
Oh.
I was gonna put John Bonham there.
Yep.
I want a hard hitter.
That.
But I would do double drum, man.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
man.
Oh,
I would put John Bonham and I put Dennis Chambers right next to each other.
That's quite a mix.
Yeah, and then on guitar, I would need, solid guitar players, really solid guitar
yeah.
players. So I would get Clapton.
Okay.
Because Clapton,
Great.
he's a bit of a
he's a
unicorn.
hybrid.
He'll, if I want him to play some acoustic, he'll do it. He'll do it well.
yeah.
He's got that session sound.
Yeah.
I love Page, but I feel like he'd be, for the type of things I want to do, maybe too sloppy. But I would definitely put him in like my trio. Plus one, which would be him, because I'd be also in there. But he's a very nice guy, Paige. I never met him, but he seems like a nice guy. He seems like a great guy to have in the band. He'll talk about history because I feel like he knows about it. Nice, smart guy. Anyway, so that would be the guitar player, Eric Clapton, and I'd also probably get Carlos Santana.
As a lead.
Depending on his availability, he's very busy.
Very busy dude.
So maybe Hendrix too.
He's
So
busy for my show.
yeah, exactly. For your
he's
show, it's a
busy.
different story.
I
He'll
asked
show
him,
up.
He said no.
So that would happen on the guitar. On bass, I would put Pino Palladino.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I put Pino Palladino in there. Really good.
No, I mean, I have to ask this question because who's fronting this band when you have those fucking kick-ass singers? It's
Right,
gotta
at
be
this
some
point, because I have to put together the band.
or they each sing a song. How about that?
Yeah.
Because you got the best
I
of the
mean,
best.
it could be you just go through all the different styles with all the different singers. Who would front it? I mean, At that point, I'd be rendering myself obsolete with all these guys on stage. So you're telling me put together your band, but I would be like, well, get me the fuck off of that stage, and let's put another singer in there. A guy I want to listen to. I don't want to hear myself for an hour. Let me listen to someone else. Yeah, John Lennon, man.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, John Lennon
Cool.
would front
Yeah.
that band, man,
You
because
see?
he does not give a shit, and he would go up on stage and he would tell people what he thinks, and he would just. And he's killer band too, killer band behind him.
That sounds that's
That's the
a
band.
First.
That's the
a
band.
First on Sessions. That's a hell of a band.
It's a hell of a setup.
I don't know why I never asked.
The name? No, I don't have one.
Dan's
No.
band. Fuck
Dan's band.
it. Fuck it.
Dan's band.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
The music is so awesome that the name.
They don't need a
who
name.
gives a fuck.
No name needed. No name needed is the name of the band. No name needed.
They need it.
And it's just like
Mic
one.
drop.
And it's just like one long table, and they're all sitting by breaking bread, and the picture's like right on the. You
Beautiful,
know, the first. And we called the album "The First Supper."
First. Marketing genius, along with amazing singer, songwriter, guitar.
We have to copyright this part of the.
Yeah, exactly. If anything, if you ever see that on stage,
We'll
it's
know.
coming
We'll
to
know. We'll date time stamp this episode so we know.
royalties are going to you.
Let's
man.
go.
Well, I take a little cut.
Well, you were here.
Sessions with, yeah, exactly. It's
only fair. It
I want to
happened in
feel
your-
like I helped.
It happened in your environment.
You drank.
I drank all of the beer.
All okay. Well,
So, and you know what they say? If you drink more than half, you have to share the royalties. So there you go. Half is yours. Half is yours. Let's make it happen.
fucking A.
Let's go.
I would just shit my pants. Wouldn't you?
I would. Yeah.
She's my,
I mean, just imagine playing a song with that band behind you. Any song you want.
you know, I have a gig coming up. Well, it's in November, but we call the sub, and I feel like a little boy, just because we call the sub drummer. I play drums and I play piano, and there's a drummer I've been following for years. She's a Quebec artist. She's a monster, and it just so happened that our regular drummer is friends with her because she's a Quebec. You know, they can study together.
Maybe I know her. What's her name?
Do you know Emmanuelle Caplet?
The name rings a bell, yeah.
Yeah, she's-
because I think she's friends with my old buddy Ronnie Lassard, who's a
Very
drummer
possible.
too,
Very
who
possible.
was in the scene of session stuff. So
Yeah, and she's like, you know, she goes to France, gives clinics. Like in, you know, Drummer Magazine, she's rated.
yeah,
in the
I
top
actually
10
remember
kind
I
of-
think speaking to her on the phone once
It's possible, yeah.
a long time ago.
It's right. I never,
Yeah.
because I saw her on magazines and I see her.
She was playing on
online.
a TV show, right?
Yeah, she plays on Belly Button.
Yes,
yeah.
she called me once.
Okay.
'cause she was with Ronnie, and she was
Okay.
like, "I heard your song that I put out when I was like 22, 23."
Really? You see?
She's like, "I want you to come play it on my show." And I was like, I've never sung in public before. Never sang a song in public before.
Dude.
Never. I was like in my early 20s.
Wow.
I'm like, really? I'm like, I don't know how to sing.
Oh.
And she was like, don't give up, keep
Yeah.
going, keep going. Yeah. She was super sweet.
Well, that's the thing. My impression was like, you know, I mean, because, you know, online, she's in France giving
Yeah.
a clinic for a month and she plays sessions and, you know, she's rated one of the top 10 in fucking world kind of thing on Drummer Magazine. She's, you know,
she's good.
so our drummer calls and says, hey, I can't make it. But I said as a joke, hey, ask Emmanuel. She asked her and she's playing the gig. So I'm like, oh, fuck.
Amazing.
So she's
Wow.
going to be subbing 3 dates with us in November. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting to practice now. Like every day I'm going to practice my piano. Like
Yeah, you
fucking-
make sure when she shows up,
I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, I didn't, sometimes you don't realize how accessible they can be.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
we're always scared just to say, hey, you never know, man. You
No,
know, it's
man,
like
yeah.
weird.
Everyone needs to play and make their living, and so it's a part.
And it's weird, you know, like, but even some people we don't know, they're probably the nicest people in the world, but we think they're
100%.
so up there, or, you know, that, well, they won't look at me, or they won't come on the show, or they won't.
No, she was super chill.
Super chill.
Even when she was on the show, she was like, "I'd love for you to come play on the show."
Yeah.
And so she's
She's going to do sessions with Stef too. I'm working on that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's funny. It's
tell her to
just-
say hi.
I will. I
She
will
probably
definitely.
won't. She won't remember
I
me.
won't talk to her until November, but
Yeah,
still,
she probably won't remember. She'll be like, "Who?"
doesn't matter. it's a good
See
story.
what happens. It's a good story.
It's a
Like,
good
I don't have a
story.
story about you. It's a good icebreaker.
It's a good icebreaker. Hey, guess what?
Guess what? You know that guy? She'd be like, "No."
So, guys, Dan, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Where can we find Astral Gates stuff? Where can we find
We're on.
all of that
Well,
stuff.
we are on the Instagram and the Facebook.
under Astral Gates?
Astral Gates. Yeah, if you look up at Astral Gates Music,
Okay, perfect.
you'll find it. astralgates.com.
Yeah, Perfect.
That's our website,
That's
has
the
all of our
website.
information.
Guys, check out Astral Gates. Check out Dan's stuff with Astral Gates. Their YouTube channel, of course, on social media. Their videos are great. This band sounds good, as you can tell. Thank you, Francesca. Thank you, Lisa. Thanks to our sponsors. Guys, thanks for subscribing. If you want, tell a friend, subscribe. You want a sponsor? Hey, we're always here. Sponsors are always good. We take anything, even ice cream. It's actually funny. We have a sponsor that said, hey, I'll give you some ice cream. Fuck, okay.
Take what you can.
Take what we can get.
It's hot
you
in
know?
here.
It's hot in here, exactly. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for everything. Till the next session. Thanks. Let's talk it out. Check them out and have a good one. Sessions with Stef is now done.